Learn the #1 exercise in the world using compression strength training. Welcome to part 2 of how to gain more speed, power, and strength in the golf swing by using the BOSU Elite training ball. That was no joke what I said in the introduction, that today I'm going to teach you the #1 exercise in the world using compression strength training, which is the kettlebell swing. I'm going to do step-by-step, paint-by-numbers instruction of how to do the kettlebell swing, and also the modified version just to get you started, and also how to do a push-up on the BOSU Elite ball. All right, here's what the BOSU Elite looks like. We're going to use the power zone just like we did in part 1. We're going to have this facing outwards, and we're going to have our feet on the power zone. And before we start the kettlebell swing, we have to prime ourselves and get warmed up properly. And I'm going to show you the modified version of the kettlebell swing before we get into the full kettlebell swing on this. This is pretty hard. I've done it for several weeks now, and it is no joke. I have engaged my adductors and my glutes like nothing else I've done before. And what's interesting, for a couple of days after doing the exercises, I'm sore, but I feel more functional in my movement, and it feels great. So I'm excited about sharing this information with you today. And we're going to start small with it. But before we get started, I want to explain to you the kettlebell swing on the BOSU Elite ball is different than the traditional kettlebell swing. So let's start out with that. I'm going to show you the movement. So the typical kettlebell swing, we have a hip hinge. We're not going to have a hip hinge in the kettlebell swing on the BOSU Elite. It's going to be a 45-degree stance like I taught you in part 1, where we engage the glutes and the adductors, and this has a lot more athletic carryover to whatever sport you're playing. And it's much safer on your lower back, because if you don't do the traditional kettlebell swing correctly, if you hinge and you have large amounts of load, I mean, you can tweak your lower back, even hurt and injure your lower back. So this is extremely safe if done correctly. And that's why I want to go over every point with you. All right, so first of all, without any weights, we're going to get on here, and what we're going to do is just prime ourselves and do a few squats to 45-degree stance. I like to do it without any shoes on. Okay, and we're getting that 45-degree stance I taught you in part 1. Okay, I'm going to make sure I tighten and squeeze my adductors, my glutes are engaged, and then I'm going to keep my spine and my shin angles the same as I go down, and I'm just going to go down halfway. I'm compressing, I'm pushing, I'm pulling the ball up. I do a couple of reps like that, and then I get off. Okay, so next, before we start the kettlebell swing, this is the modified version and how you need to work your way into doing it. I'm going to start with a dumbbell. And you can, by the way, you can do the kettlebell swings with dumbbells if you do not have kettlebells. So it is a-okay. For a lot of people, the dumbbells are a lot less scary than the kettlebell. So this is fine to do. All right, so I'm going to get on here. Okay. And I'm going to show you what it looks like if I get down here and I lose my balance. Okay, I want to exit like this. This is important. First thing you need to know is I've taught a couple of my neighbors this, and to get the balance, they have fallen off, not fallen on the ground, but just like did what I just did. You want to make sure you hold this up here, so if it's down here, you don't want to hit your legs and injure yourself. So first thing we're going to do, get on here, get our balance, 45-degree stance, and we're going to do a couple of goblet squats where we compress, squeeze, the adductors go down just a little bit, and then come back up. I'm squeezing, and there, all right? So I'm confirming now that I got off. I feel light on my feet, walking on the balls of my feet easier, glutes are engaged, and a better squat. Want to confirm that every time. Okay, so next, I'm going to get on here, and this time, instead of here, we're going to let it hang, and we're going to do a squat again and let it go down. You can see how my knees are out. We're going to let it go down to about in between the gap here, and that's where we're going to stop, and we're going to engage. We're engaged the whole time, pushing and feeling it on the 4th and 5th metatarsal. Then we're gonna do a couple of swings where we don't move, keeping the spine and the shin angles the same. Okay, that's in itself, if that's all you do, man, my glutes are on fire, my adductors are engaged, my core is so tight, it's unreal with that. Do that for as long as you need to get the balance, okay? So the next step after doing that, put on here, okay, tighten up the adductors, squeeze, got my glutes engaged, got my balance on the 4th and 5th toe. I go down, and then we're gonna let this swing, and we're gonna let it squat. And we're not gonna swing too high, it's all about the compression in the legs. Okay, I'm gonna get off. Okay, even with the, what I got, a 10-pound dumbbell, wow. I mean, I can feel my glutes on fire, my adductors are tightened, and light on my feet. All right, so that is how you start with it. You know, do that step by step to start, and then you work your way into the swings. Now, the common fault with this is to resist the kettlebell swinging or the dumbbell swinging. We just want it to swing, okay? Now, that was wrong what I just did there. You see, I went hip back. So we want to make sure we squat down, and we go down. We want to feel like we're placing the back part of the kettlebell or dumbbell back here in the heels. So that engages the glutes in a squat. That. And also, proper spine and shin angles when you do that. Okay, so that is the movement pattern. And as you get better with it, and you feel like you can slowly work your way up in weight, or if you have kettlebells, take a kettlebell, and the goal is to reach 10 on the intensity level with your glutes on fire, okay? So I'm gonna show you there's a couple ways to achieve it. One is we could do 25, 30 reps, which is probably gonna be tough for most people out there starting out. The other day, what I did in a workout, I did interval training, and I did sets of 10, and I had a couple other movements and went back to it. I did 7 rounds, and I reached that level of 10, okay? So, I got a 25-pound, I worked my way up to a 35-pound the other day. Again, it doesn't have to be heavy. It's about getting these adductors and your glutes engaged and being balanced and doing this properly, and it's unbelievable. Okay, so let's get going here. All right, so I'm gonna go down, get my balance first. Heels are 1 inch apart, 45-degree stance. Okay, and I'm gonna go down right here. Okay, anytime I'm not feeling right, I'm gonna pull this up to exit. That's important, all right? I'm gonna make sure everybody understands how to exit this. Okay, all right, get my balance again. My spine really good. Okay, I'm gonna make a couple little swings right here. So my balance. Okay, now I'll start doing a little squat. I'm not resisting the kettlebell. I'm not gonna be able to talk here. All right. All right. I don't know how many I just did there, 7 or 8. All right, so what's unique about this exercise also, it's gonna hit 2 things at once, which is unique to any kind of exercise. This is why it's considered the #1 exercise in the world, is it hits the power and endurance. So when I'm on here, I mean, it's got my glutes on fire, my adductors on fire. And you saw that when I got off, like 10, 15 seconds later, my metabolic and my endurance, you can see it hit my endurance. So that is unique training. And I'm gonna do another set and see if I can add 5 more to it. I'd say my intensity there was probably got up to about a 7. Okay, and if you do it like this, give it 30, 40 seconds in between and do sets of 10 or work up to 12. You'll know what to do when you do it. But when you get that burn to an 8, see if you can keep going and reach that level of 10. Okay, so here we go. Go down, A few swings. I don't know how many I did then. I know I did 5 or 6 more. That reached close to 10. That is different. Feels so good. That is not easy. Everything is activated. Okay, so I'm excited about adding this into my workouts, which I already have done. And you know, I play golf, I teach for a living. More balance you can have, more power you can have. I mean, then add the metabolic endurance. Well, we got to walk 18 holes if we're playing competitive golf. You want the endurance factor. So this is great for golf or any sport. So the next one I'm going to show you is the push-up. I'm still catching my breath. All right, so that's pretty funny. But the thing about the push-up and the thing about this compression training is the stronger you are and the more you give it, the less reps you can do. So someone that is less strong can do more reps because this ball is going to fight you. So the stronger you are, it's going to be less reps. So worth noting here on the push-up is instead of having our feet, or that's where our feet are on the power zone here, we're going to flip it around and have our hands on this side of it, okay? So I'm going to flip this around. Okay? And this is going to be different than traditional push-up. Okay, so several things are going to be different. The feet are going to be a little bit wider when I'm back here. And then my elbows down at the bottom position, turn around here, are not going to be straight back. They're going to be in a sprinter type position. What's comfortable for you? So that elbow position is going to be different. Also, we're not going to be doing regular push-ups. We're going to be pushing in on this 3D dome. And that pushing in and that compression is going to make us rise up. And when we get to the top, the elbows are not going to lock out. And when we go back down, we're going to fight and compress the whole way. But what's really unique about this 3D dome, by pushing in on this compression, it's center line training. And that means everything goes to the center as we're doing this. And that's how we're anatomically built as a human being. So it's very safe. And what it's going to do is going to have a deeper recruitment of your pecs, your lats. And hey, that's more definition for us guys that want to have that buff body, the pecs strong and firm. That this is a great exercise and it's going to be functional. It's going to make us stronger. All right, so I'm going to do it from this, face on here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we lay on it right here. And then I'm going to put my hands on it with that position. Okay. Now the reason we got the hands on this side, on the power zone, it's constructed differently on this ball. We don't want to hyperextend the wrist. So this is easier on the hands and it's safe. So you won't just haphazardly do this. There's a reason why I turned this around as David Weck instructs you how to use this, and it makes a world of difference, okay? So I'm going to get on here. Okay, I got my center there. Okay, and I'm going to start pushing in. I got my feet a little bit wider, elbows out just a little bit. And as I push in, okay. All right, you can see I'm trembling there. It is not easy. The other day I did a workout where I did some interval training. I only did 3 to 5 push-ups on it. And the next day I was so sore in areas of my chest and my lats that I haven't felt, I think I've ever felt it that way. And I've been working out for over 10 years, 5 days a week. So that says something. It's just totally different. And what's great about this too, for guys out there that do a lot of bench press or pull-ups or push-ups and you have cranky shoulders, this is safe to do if you do the technique right, like I just said. Safe on your joints. And it's just overall with that center line training, it's healthy for your body. It's the way it's supposed to move with that center line. But you can see there, it's all about me pushing down into pushing that compression centered like that, and that made me raise up, and it's totally different. All right, everyone, that is just some great exercises. BGI is affiliated with the WEC method, and below on the link down below with the WEC method, we have a discount code. The ball is, I believe, $199 and you'll get a 10% off discount. It is an effective training tool. I've used it. It is that good. So watch the video again, implement this into your training days, and I know you won't be disappointed. If you have any questions about what I went over today, please comment down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with all your friends. And at BGI, we appreciate all our supporters out there, and we'll continue to make great videos in the future, and see you in the next video.